Welcome back, Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy. And today I'm gonna do a collection vid on my front flippers. I know front flippers are, the big craze right now. A lot of people love them. I personally don't really like front flippers, mainly because they hurt my hands. My hands are mangled up. Some of them I don't mind. I definitely like them whenever they have the front flipper with another deployment, just like if a regular flipper with like a thumb deployment as well. That's my favorite. But let's go through them and I'll show you, I'll tell you my favorite of the bunch, both in the budget category and my more expensive one. First one is the Civivi McKenna. Excellent little budget front flipper. This happens to be their Damascus version, but you can still get it in the D2, G10 scales, riding on bearings. That the steel comes up high enough to where you get easy clearance, good action, good detent. Just a lightweight gentleman's carry style knife, liner lock, deep carry, pocket clip. And the D2 variant of the McKenna is $68. All right, the next is another budget front flipper, and that is the Reich, not R-I-K-E, the R-U-I-K-E, P671-CB. It didn't come with these micarta scales. This was a little project knife that I started, never really finished. Put some micarta scales on, never put the pocket clip in. I never cleaned up the outside, because it just wasn't worth it to me. But front flipper works good. Once again, it protrudes. But I find usually whenever it goes straight up like that, it's not always that comfortable, at least for me. But you can get a nice snappy action, especially whenever when the jimping grabs onto your thumb really well. But the higher it is, the more leverage you have. You just easily snap it back like that. This model right here is in 14C 28N and it runs $40. You can also thumb stud deploy it. It's a smaller knife. I have a medium-sized hand and I can just get 4 fingers on it. It's comfortable. Liner lock's easy to get to. Good action. It's riding on bearings. Oh, can't really see that in there. It's a okay knife. $40 if I didn't say that already. Next is another somewhat budget, depending on what your budget is the Boker Lancer. Now this isn't a dedicated front flipper, but as you can see, the tang protrudes right there. It doesn't even have jimping right there, but I can easily front flip it. Not saying you will definitely be able to, because if you have a strong detent, if you buy one that with a strong detent, you may not be able to do that, being that there's no jimping. This knife, I have a few issues with this knife, and the lock is really flimsy on mine. The only reason I'm keeping it is just because this was that special run that they did in the beginning on accident, I think. First production, and this is the S35VN model. It's smooth. The handle's okay. It's just like a blocky broomstick. Pocket clip's pretty tight. This is not my favorite. I like the aesthetics of it. And it's designed from custom knife maker Serge Panchenko. I like a lot of his design aesthetics. And this one in the standard production is in 440C, and that version is $78. All right, the next 3 are my Tucson front flippers, and the first is the Tucson TS 136 Stingray. This is the D2 variant. I did my ano finish to it. It's an odd knife. The ergos are a little funny because you got a really slim handle, and if you use this right here, it forces you in an odd position. But if you come up here, it's pretty comfortable. I will say this is one of the smoothest knives in my collection. Watch this. I mean, it's a guillotine if I let it be. I I mean, super smooth, and no lock rock, no play in any direction. Now, this is a odd front flipper too. As you can see, it's got that thumb area, but you need to get your thumb up in that high area right there to get a good flip. But it doesn't feel natural, at least not to me. It's a lot easier to middle finger flick it, or thumb flick. It's very easy as well. Now, I picked this one up off of eBay. This one's in D2 steel, and I paid 60 bucks for it. So for 60 bucks, I think it's an excellent knife. You can also get an M390 now as well with different types of carbon fiber, I think. All right, the next Tucson's my favorite Tucson, and that is the TS 129. Oops. I love that blade shape. You have some void-free contoured carbon fiber. This one's in 14C 28N. It's held up. They got that kind of, I don't know, polished satin on there. Easy access to the lock bar. 14C 28N. You can also get an M390 now. I think you can get an upgrade still. I think it's M390. The flipper tabs, the front flipper's easy to deploy. The jimping's just right. Easily front flip it. You can easily spidey flick it. You can easily thumb flick it. And I did my endo finish to this one. It's kind of dirty, but I like this knife. This is I think it's a night morning design, I think. I don't know, I get them confused. Super smooth, pretty much like any Tucson I've ever handled. Very comfortable ergos. I like their 14C 20N, holds up well, blind screwed, milled pocket clip. Excellent knife. And I got this one in 14C 28N for $80. Next Tucson is an integral, and that is the TS 140. This one's in M390. Like I said, it is an integral, one solid piece of titanium. Has my finish on it. Kind of did a sloppy job. Let me use that front flipper right here. Now, this is not a super easy front flipper. It's just, I don't know, it doesn't roll well. Maybe it feels up a little higher or tilted back some for this particular model. I just love that blade shape for some reason. It's either I love it or hate it. Very easy access to that lock bar. I think this one is the bow head. This one's an M390. It's I don't know how to say his name. I think Mohawk, I think. I don't know. Correct me down below. Very smooth action. Good lockup. It's got a lock insert. I paid, I think it was like $180 for this on eBay auction. Like I said, the front flipper's okay. All right. The next one is the Boker Excalibur. This is the S35VN model with carbon fiber and titanium. Super slim, but this is not one I could recommend. I have two of them, and both of them have pretty bad problems. I wanted to get another one of these in a better steel because this thing's ground to like 10 thousandths behind the edge. Super slim. And I just, like, literally I can flex the edge if I push in. I don't know if I can show y'all that, but you can flex the edge. That's how it's thin, and I like them nice and thin. And literally, it's been sharpened, I think 4 times, because I used to use this a good bit. Super lightweight, but the heat treat on this must suck, because I don't know if I can show you this through the camera. Let's see. If you look right here, you can see how the light's rippling right there. See how the shadow right there? It's because there's a dent or a ripple, permanent ripple right here, and one right here, just to where the steel just kind of wrinkled. And I have several knives that have thinner geometry than this and the same geometry, and they have a good heat treat, and they flex and stuff, but they never permanently went that way. And then there's always chips all over this edge. You know, I might have just got a bad one. Who knows? The lock on mine flexes a good bit as well. I haven't had much luck with their titanium frame locks, but this one right here comes in at $164 in S35 and you can also get it in titanium. I don't know, it's kind of a bummer. It's a good front flipper. The jimping is nice and fine, so it really grabs onto that thumb. Oh, sorry about that. My dog's probably gonna be an idiot for a little while, but mine just had a lot of issues. Hey bud, stop, okay? And like I said, I'd already had one. This is the G10. Hold on. Hey bud. Hey, stop. Stop. This is the G10 variant. Same thinness behind the edge. I'm sorry if he barks some more. He just loves to do it when I'm doing videos. This is in 440C, G10, titanium liner. They're both super smooth, but in good action, very good action. But this one has severe lock flex. I could almost get this one closed by flexing back and forth. The 440C seems to hold, they did a better job on this. This one seems to hold up better than my S35. Hadn't had any problems with the edge crinkling or anything on this one. But it just, I don't know, that the lock's not too promising on this one as well. So I can't recommend either one of these. The 440C versions is $89. All right, the next one is hey, I'm doing a video real quick. The next one is the Spyderco Smok. Now, I don't know if you can consider this one a front flipper. I really don't. A lot of people do, because in my opinion, a front flipper is in the front of the knife, not in the back. But, you know, if you want to consider this a front flipper, that's why I'm adding it, because a lot of people do. Use it right there. It's pretty easy to actuate. This is a nice fidgety knife. S30V steel. The Smok is $175, and this was designed by custom knife maker Kevin Smok. And it didn't come with these scales. These are some aftermarket sharp dress knife scales, and micarta. It comes with a G10 carbon fiber laminate. But it's definitely a fun knife, good user, nice hollow grind on here, good blade shape for you know, doing some nice precise cuts with that tip. I thoroughly enjoy the blade shape. I might be chopping mine down to about right there. Who knows? Next is been in my pocket a lot, probably because I just got it, but mainly because I love the looks and it's got my card on it, and that is the Artisan Mini Centauri and green canvas micarta. It's contoured, front flipper, sits up pretty high. The jimping is slick, but being that it sits up high enough, I can still get a good flip on there. The action's really nice and smooth, super lightweight, being that you have this micarta scale, contoured scales, blind screwed pocket clip, S35V in steel. This is a Ray Laconico design. There we go. Satin finish on the blade. I get a full 4-finger grip on there. I have a video on the larger one coming out soon. Decent access to the lock bar. It's kind of a complaint to me. S35. This one comes in at $178. All right. The next one is my Olymic Busker Simper. This is a pretty good front flipper, especially for its size. That jimping catches onto your thumb really nicely. Detent is awesome on here. M390 blade steel, titanium, ceramic bearing, ceramic detent, nice and smooth action. Very snappy. Listen to this detent, if I can get it. Nice click when it closes. I've got mine reground from Brian at Transparent Knives, so it's a good cutter now. Before, it was 30 thousandths behind the edge, so it was a terrible cutter. In my opinion, Like I said, M390 blade, sculpted handles. This one, brand new, I think it was $5.95, I think. I didn't pay that. I traded for somebody. I got a great deal, so that's why I picked it up. That is the Olymic Busker. All right, the next ones, I don't think they're available anymore. You may be able to find them. You could probably find them on the secondary market, but the first is the Isom Abstruse titanium scales with my anode finish on it. I added this quick stud on there just because I like that. I may put a permanent one on there. It's got a nail nick if you don't want to use the front flipper. But as you can see, it does have a front flipper up there. That jimping does grip onto the thumb good enough, and you can get a nice little front flip. It is a small knife. My medium-sized hand just gets 4 fingers on there. Kind of feels a little awkward in hand. I like the overall aesthetic. Definitely an Isom design. M390 blade steel. Full flat grind. It's a decent slicer. This one came in at, I got it on the pre-order for I think like $160 or $170. Okay knife. That's the Isom Abstruse. Another one that's sold out. The Enrique Pena X Series Trapper, front flipper. You do have a nail nick, titanium, jig bone, M390. It's a small, compact front flipper. This one's on the top. I don't think I have any other ones that I showed that are on the very top like that, but it works really good. You just put pressure down there, kind of like you were doing a push button, and rock back a little bit. Good action on it, nice and smooth. M390 blade steel. Love that blade shape. That's what got me to get this one. Really wish I could find somebody to trade me for one of the micarta variants. I'd be super happy. This one was $285, brand new. I picked it up from a buddy. There you go. All right, the next one is another one that is no longer available, and that is the Booz Blades Smok. This is the regular size version and S35 VN. He also had some different sprint runs of it in M390 and stuff like that. Looks like a steak knife. Very sleek, lightweight, thin, great action. I think this was made by We Knives. That's his logo right there. Mine's super smooth. I did this anode to it like a two-toned blue bronze, I think I did. You can see the specs in there. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera. I like the way this one carries. It's a nice full-size gentleman carry. You can bury your finger in there sometimes and get a Spidey flick if you want. Decent ergos for how slim it is. It's got my edge on it. Probably needs to be strapped up. I haven't carried this in a little bit just because I don't, like I said, I don't really love front flippers that much. And using that thumb hole, you kind of got to pinch it. But overall, good knife, very popular. I'd check it out if you could. Front flipper action is really nice. It kind of cants back a little bit. Kind of bury your finger on top of it, and you get a good pop. The next one's a really old knife. I mean, you know, I don't know exactly how old, but I don't think it was designed as a front flipper. Maybe I could be wrong, but if you look at the tang, you would think. And that is the, I don't even know, the Titan, what is it? Gigan, maybe? There you go. That's it. An ATS 34. The reason I say that is because you see, you got flat right here, and then it goes back with jimping right there. And I can easily get a nice front flip on there because that jimping is nice and fine and grabs onto the thumb really nicely. Comes out really nicely. It's riding on Teflon, titanium liner lock, titanium scales. Look at that pocket clip. That kind of shows you the age. Not only is it tipped down only, it's halfway down the darn knife. Super smooth. Pretty cool knife. I just liked it because of the history. You know, I like old knives sometimes, depending on what they are. And I don't remember how much this one was. So overall, Out of the budget blades, my favorite front flipper is this McKenna. Like I said, you can get the D2 version for $68 if you want a nice, lightweight, light-duty gentleman's or office carry. Pretty much no footprint. I can front flip this really, really easily. It's got a nice detent. Comes out fast. Now for my more expensive knives, it's kind of hard to say. I'm gonna do like I don't know. I'm gonna kind of exclude the Smok. I don't really consider that a front flipper. The action's great, but like I said, I don't really consider that a front flipper. So I would say out of my smaller ones, it would be out of the Busker. Busker is very snappy, and the Trapper is just very easy to use. But if you wanted to find one that's still available, Busker. But like I said, it does come rather thick behind the edge. So just know that if you decide to buy one. But I like the knife a good bit. I do like the action on the Centauri, mini Centauri, but I just haven't had it long enough to, say, if it's better than those other ones that I just showed. Now, as far as bigger blades, the action on the Smok is really good, but being as discontinued, I'll give y'all one that is still there. And this Tucson TS 129, I find it has really good front flipping action. I can go, I can roll it like that, or I can pop it. If you haven't ever used a front flipper, it takes a little while to get used to, especially if you're used to using a traditional flipper back here. But I guess they can be fun. They do keep your design flow very sleek because you don't have a flipper tab sticking out. I don't have anything to show like what I'm saying. Let me see what's in my pocket. No flipper there. No flipper there. Let's see. Yeah, look, just as a Best Tech that I modded. And as you see, you got the flipper tab. And, without the flipper tab, it leaves a much cleaner design. So that's why, I think some people like that. I don't know if it's true or not, but a buddy of mine that lives in South Africa, where I don't know if it's where it originated from, but you see a lot of the South African makers using them, said that they designed the front flipper because it wasn't legal to have a flipper in their area. So this was like a hidden flipper. Correct me if anybody's from South Africa knows the truth about that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just what he told me. I don't see why he lied to me. Sounds plausible to me. But there you go. Out of all the ones I just showed y'all, let me know which one's y'all favorite. Like I said, that's probably this one and the 129 and the Smok are probably my two favorite front flippers as far as my the bigger ones go. The Olymic Busker and the Pena X Series Trapper as far as my smaller ones go. And then as far as the budget smaller version would be the McKenna. There you go. Hope everybody is having an excellent day today. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up so I know you're enjoying it so I can keep on putting out more videos. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.